Right, our final stroke we'll talk about, last but not least, definitely not least, very important for nice flow, upstroke. It's the other one of our two quiet stroke types. I'll show you a picture, I suppose, as a way of thinking about this. The tap before started low and it bounced and it ended up in the same place, low. But this upstroke, it does a quiet hit, it does the low bounce, but we let the stick, well, we kind of take the stick up. It's what our wrist does to create this. Because if we start low, then the stick just is going to want to bounce to where it started from. So we've got to help it out a bit to make it end high. And how we do this, we're using our wrist, which I'll talk about. Why would we want to do a upstroke? It's if you want a quiet note that is then followed by a loud note, because this is only give us low. We come high, then we're in a position to go loud, wallop. Distance is volume. So what we need to do, we need to draw our stick up from the wrist. So this is going to happen, and the stick is going to contact the surface you're on as if by accident, really, due to this angle that we create with the wrist. And it should feel very light, almost like you're not doing it, because you're not really, you're doing a wrist movement, and as a consequence of that, you're making a hit. And then once we are up to the top, like this, we unfurl it, and then we do whatever stroke we want to do, control or rebound, because we start high, we've only got two possibilities, control, or we go into a series of rebounds like we're bouncing a ball. So if you want to look at that a little bit longer, pause it, whatnot. Okay, so this is a kind of a weird one to start with in complete isolation. The stick has no momentum, but you know, it's this kind of possible. Right, this is the only stroke where we are doing an obvious change of our wrist, an intentional one. Everything else is around this point here, not really moving. Upstroke, start low, and then this wrist is gonna come up. The stick is not gonna come up as such. This, see how it touched? That's because of the angle. Some physics stuff is going on. So just think about your wrist, don't think about hitting that pad. It will happen anyway. That's part of our upstroke. Right, then what you have to do is unfurl. And I just played a control stroke at the end, just because I'm not playing anything else. That's what we do with controls, they're breaks. So if we're not playing anymore, we want to keep our stick low, not in the way of anything else. Right, so we did all the thing together. Up, unfurl. I could go into a series of rebounds, which would be like, and then I could do a control at the end there. But as an isolated upstroke, it's like this, and then whatever, whether it becomes a rebound or a control. So if I do an up and a control, okay, draw it with your other hand. Now the faster you're playing things, this upstroke is going to be smaller and smaller and smaller, but it will still be there. And it's not something that you are going to think about when you get the knack of this. This stuff is becoming muscle memory, it becomes intuitive, but at first we've got to check that the movement is happening in the right way. Right, things we can do with this upstroke. Because now we have all of the strokes. We had rebound, we have control, we have tap, common application with upstrokes, and controls, you'll see it a lot on hi-hat playing when we hear and let me start. Right, up, control. Right, very, very common, this thing. Exercise 1, control, then up. So we're starting high, we're ending low, we're putting that brake on. And then from that low height, we draw the wrist up, we unfurl, and we go round again because we're up. So then we come down. When you see people playing like this on a hi-hat, see how the hat, it gives a more varied hi-hat sound. And I find it's easier to go faster because we're breaking something up into 2 motions, and that up, we're not feeling like we're really playing it. It's a kind of happy accident. So control, up, control, up, unfurl, control, up, unfurl, control, up, unfurl. Down, up, down, up, down, up. Look for that wrist coming up. Down, up, down, up, down. I am not gripping this stick crazy hard. It's the wrist. The wrist is doing it. And my fingers are staying attached. Try it with both hands. The left hand is going to real struggle with this, if you're right-handed though, at first, but it can learn from the other one. So make sure your strong hand feels good first. What else can we do? Right, then other drills. We do a kind of triplet thing. We do down, tap, up, down, tap, up, control, tap, up. I'm going to try this one. Big down, big control, break, then starting low, we do a little tap, and then we take from that low height up, drawn up by the wrist. The up is always pertaining to, put it there, the wrist. So, and this is all on one hand. Down, tap, up, down, tap, up, down, tap, up, down, tap, up. Don't take that wrist up until we say up. Down, tap, up, down, tap, up, down, tap, up, down, tap, up, down, tap, up. Check with your stick that it's not going up too soon. Don't squeeze it like crazy. In that control, we are just not letting our fingers open out. We're not squeezing loads. It will kick, that is normal. The tap will feel like it's like a little twitch. Twitch it down. Control tap. Control tap. If we count this as triplets, 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a, on the I'm coming up. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. If you go up too soon, you might find you run out of surface to contact. And the last one, expand that a little more. which is like the ultimate drill. We do a rebound, so it's going to be a loud noise, and it's going to go all the way back up to the top, and then a control, which is going to be another loud noise, but we're going to stay low at the end of it. Rebound, control. So you will hear da 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 da. Bold for loud, because it's starting high. Volume is high. Rebounds, control. Now, because we're low, we set up for a tap, which is a little sound. Returns back to its low starting point, and then we draw up from the wrist, and then we start again. Because we're up, we can come down. This one would be more like a 16th, 1E and a 2E, or 1 and 2 and whatever you prefer to think of it as. Right, so rebound, control, tap, up. So here we're surrendering to the stick, we're letting it come up. That one we're not. Surrendered, not surrendered. Tap, up, surrender, don't surrender. Tap, up. That's what happens if you put a stick in away. Ooh. You'll be glad to know that you wouldn't be doing all of that on one hand. It just means if you can do that, then when you've got to do it as a flow between two hands, you'll be fine. And that is all of our strokes really. I suppose the thing I might mention about control is when you're doing a hi-hat grooves, you're doing this. What's going on there? We spoke about this. That's control up, control up, control up. What I'm applying with my general backbeat 2 and 4, control on 2 and 4. Although technically actually it's an upstroke followed by control, sorry, so you're doing this. It's starting low. Why is it low? Because I don't want it in the way of this. It's got that lower angle. The tip of the stick is kind of below my wrist. 1 and upstroke in harmony with my top hand. 1 and 2, that's my upstroke. 1 up, control. This one. And this is a good default playing level to be at. When you ended something, then you put the break on and you keep it low like that. It's good to be in the habit of this so you're not clacking things and sitting like with your wrist on your knee like that. Try to avoid that. Here it's ready to go. If you're like this, you can easily do an upstroke for a loud sound or a tap. You've got that sort of in between position. If you're like this, you're only going to be able to do something loud. So we don't want to have ourselves limited like that. So that's it for types of stroke. 2 loud, rebound is loud, control is loud, tap, quiet, tap, tap, upstroke,